You ready, Nathan?
Hey y'all, here we are, Dyin Breed Barbecue, coming back again. I know it's been a little while since I've done a video, but I decided to jump back on here. If you're coming back, welcome back. If it's your first time here, thanks for stopping by and checking us out. Hey, what I got going on today is I got a chuck roast that we're gonna do up there on the pit boss. Basically, I'm gonna cook this thing just like I would a brisket. We're gonna run it at 250 degrees, let it smoke on up. We'll get on into that here in a minute. Right now, I'm gonna go ahead and get it all seasoned up. What I did is I just went ahead and trimmed this thing up a little bit. There's not normally a lot you gotta do to a chuck roast. So, literally I just took a little bit of the hard fat off, stuff like that. But as you can see, it's pretty nice and trimmed up. It's about a 2.5 pound chuck. So, we're gonna get that baby seasoned up. The rubs I'm using today is Nils Wrap. This rub right here is a Southwest. It's an all-purpose rub. This is probably one of my favorite rubs that he makes. I use it on just about anything. I like it. It puts a good base on your meat, and that's kind of what I like about it, is that it gives a real nice base to your meat. So we're just gonna go ahead and throw some of it on here. Get it all seasoned up. And then I'll come back and I'll hit it with his brisket rub. It's just a back to the basics brisket rub. It's got some really good seasonings in there. Puts a real nice bark on your meat. And that's what I like to use to finish it off. We're gonna come back and hit it with this AP rub again. Get some of that on there. And we'll come back with the brisket again. And that's literally all I'm gonna do to it. We got it all seasoned up now. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get up there and kick on the smoker. I'll let this thing rest while that smoker's coming up to temp. Once the smoker comes up to temp, we'll go ahead and take this baby out there and throw it on. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, punch the like button. We're about to do a chuck roast up there on the pit boss. Alright, so here we are. We got that smoker all fired up. Now, what I like to do with chuck roast, briskets, those two big cuts of meat, this little secret I'm gonna let you in on right now. Whenever I first throw those on, I run my grill at 400 degrees. So right now I've got my grill set at 400. Got this spatula. If you haven't got one of these spatulas by Pit Boss, you gotta check them out. This thing is great for handling big pieces of meat, chicken, brisket, chucks, pork butts, you name it, this spatula will do it. So we're just gonna take it. I put it on the right side of my grill. We're just gonna lay it in there. And like I said, I've got it running at 400 degrees. I'm gonna let that thing run at 400 degrees for about 45 minutes. Then I'm gonna kick it down to 250 and let it do its thing. Alright, so it's been going 400 degrees, 45 minutes. I'm gonna break down why I do that. I want this meat to kind of plump up. And so whenever I'm cooking at 400 degrees, that meat's gonna wanna get fatter. Plus it helps me go ahead and build a nice crust on the outside of it. So that's two reasons why I do it. That's the two main reasons. Now I'm gonna kick it down to 250 and we're not gonna check on it for probably 3 hours. Alright, so here we are. That chuck roast has been on there for about 4 hours. We're about to take a look at it, see what we're looking at. So, we got really good bark forming on that thing. So now I'm just gonna move on to the second part of this. And that's I'm gonna put it in a pan. And all I've got in this pan is just some beef broth. So I'm gonna take this chuck roast, put it in that pan, and let it continue cooking until it comes up to temp. Now what I do with my beef broth is I go ahead and put it on here about 30 minutes before I come out here to put the roast in it. That way that broth is already warmed up so it doesn't really shock the meat. I seem to think that helps a little bit better. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna get a probe in it. I haven't probed it until now. So I'm just gonna go ahead and see where we're at. Kind of see what we're working with. And then I'm just gonna cover it with wool. Alright, so we've got it all plugged in. We'll just kind of see where we're at on temps. So yeah, we're sitting at about 167, somewhere around there. That's about where I want to be. Like I said, it's been about 4 hours. We wrapped that thing up. It's going to help get it tender. And then we're going to cook this thing to about 205, 206, somewhere around there. But I think we're looking at about another 2, maybe 2.5 hours. So here we go. We got it wrapped up. We're going to see what happens. So here we are. It's been about another 2 hours. That chuck roast is getting about right. We're going to check it right now and see what we got going on. My temps on the internal are about 206, 207, so we're just going to see what we got going on. Now you can see it there. It's looking pretty good. Now what I'm doing now is I'm just checking for this probe to go in like butter, and everything seems about right. Now I'm going to do something a little different. Well, this is what I do whenever I wrap it, because as you can see, that bark is not set like it needs to be. So what I'll do is I'll take and put that on a pan here, and then I'll take and just set it back in here for about 30 minutes. It doesn't take very long for that bark to set back up, but we're going to give it about 30 minutes, let that bark set back up, then we'll get inside, wrap it up, let it rest, and we're going to see what we've got to eat. Alright, so we've let it go about another 30 minutes, give or take, and you can see that bark is set back up on it. It's looking real nice. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to wrap it up. So I'm just going to take tinfoil here. We'll just kind of build like a kind of a boat on it, because I'm going to take some of the drippings that I had out of the pan, and I'm just going to add those to it. We don't want to add a lot, just a little bit of moisture in it. So now since I uncovered it on the grill and let it kind of come to temp, that thing actually dropped a few degrees, so I'm not worried about letting it rest vented before I put it in the cooler. So I'm just going to go ahead and wrap it on up. And we'll take it in there and put it in the cooler. And about an hour, we're going to slice it up, see what we got. Alright, so here we are. We've had that roast resting for about an hour. Now this back here, this is what I would consider like the point, something like that. So I'm just going to lop that off because I don't want that right now. So I'm just going to go ahead and slice on into this, kind of see what we're looking at. Let's see what we got here. There it is. I'm going to just go ahead and slice this baby up, see what we got. Alright, so here we got it. We got that chuck roast all smoked up. It's looking pretty good. Out of a chuck roast, you can get sliced, you can get some fatty, you can even get some pulled. Now hey, if you haven't checked me out already, check me out on Instagram at Dyin Barbecue, or I've got a Facebook page, Dyin Barbecue. So it's what we're doing all the time. Hey, chuck roast out there on the Pit Boss.